Today I'm bringing you a video about the 50 greatest bodybuilders in history. We're reacting to Super Shetman, an English language bodybuilding channel that ranked them by his own criteria. We may agree more or less, but I think this is very interesting and we're going to enjoy watching these amazing bodybuilders. Let's see if we agree with this list. If you're new to bodybuilding or very young, you might not recognize everyone in this video. That's fine because we'll learn together. Top Ronnie Coleman. To no one's surprise, it wasn't obvious. I think we can't argue that Coleman is the best bodybuilder in history up to this day. A.P. Mr. Olympus. A mass monster, giant, massive, defined with incredible proportions. It's just insane. From the front and from the back, a monster. Phil Heath is second with 7 Mr. Olympus. I agree. Some think he should be first. He probably has one of the best, if not the best, genetics in bodybuilding. They called him the gift because he had that kind of God-given genetics. A practically perfect bodybuilder who unfortunately ended up with a bad midsection and ended up losing, well, in a bad way. Who do you think is better, Phil Heath or Coleman? Now let's discuss third place. I bet on Kai Greene. I don't really agree with this from the start because I think Kai Greene has a really wide midsection and his forearms are very... In my opinion, his physique was more unbalanced and less aesthetic than the two bodybuilders we just saw. Anyway, he's a top 2 at Mr. Olympia, an Arnold Classic winner. He's a beast. Check out that ice cream chest. It's wild. He's definitely among the best ever, but I'm not sure I'd rank him third. His waist is pretty wide, right? I don't know, he's really big and defined, but from the back, his back is flat and not as defined. I might have ranked Jay Cutler third instead of fourth. Jay, I have a video about him and his story if you're interested. Cutler beat Coleman, a huge bodybuilder with amazing legs and a big upper body. He wasn't very aesthetic, but his mass and definition were impressive. Look at that, that's insane. He ranks Big Ramy 5th, that's interesting. He weighed up to 40 kilos on stage, making him one of the heaviest and most recent bodybuilders we've had. His last Olympia was around 2022. It's been a few years, but Mamdou Elsbier at his peak was one of the biggest ever and had top 5 largest legs in bodybuilding. 6th, he ranks Dorian Yates, who won multiple Olympias and, at his peak, had an extremely massive physique. I don't really like the video he chose, but I'll insert some images for you. In 7th place, he puts Javi Chopin. Okay, here he just smoked a joint as big as my arm. This can't be, look, I really like Javi, but you can't put Javi 7th in history. He has impressive definition from the front, but he's not that big or open muscle-wise. He also has thin forearms, flat legs, and unremarkable quadriceps. Javi is a great bodybuilder, but I wouldn't rank him in the top 7 or 8 ever. Honestly, I'd put Samson Dauda ahead of him. The year he won the Olympia, in 2024, he brought, I think, 38 kilos to the stage. He weighed more than Coleman. And sure, his conditioning wasn't as good, but damn, Samson's aesthetics, his lines, they remind you of the old school bodybuilders aside from the conditioning. Still, I don't think any of them belong in the top 10. 9. Victor Martinez. Interesting, I think that's a good spot for him. He's a very aesthetic bodybuilder with great arms. That side chest is insane. Physiques like his are rare now. From the back it's average, but from the front, impressive. Dexter Jackson, we were talking about arms, right? Well, these are cannons. What an incredible pair of arms Dexter Jackson has. What a tiny waist. What an amazing shape he had. This bodybuilder. He absolutely deserves to be at the top. I would have ranked him above Javi and Samson, no question. His side chest view shows an almost perfect physique. Nasser Sonbaty, the fascinating professor. Here's a massive bodybuilder with multiple university degrees who spoke, I think, 7 languages. I also have videos about him. He defies the all-muscle, no-brain myth. Though he never won the Olympia, Dorian Yates remains a controversial figure. He adds the late Shawn Rhoden here. Rest in peace. He was the one who defeated Phil Heath. It must be said that Phil showed up with a pretty distended abdomen, but when he arrived, Shawn displayed such spectacular aesthetics, such a beautiful physique. Look at that, how beautiful, what a great midsection he had. Now let's move on to Dennis Ward. I also think he's a good choice. I brought a video about Dennis, an underrated and somewhat unknown bodybuilder. Maybe a pretty tall guy, also with a good structure, super wide, right? This man had spectacular genetics, maybe he just lacked muscle mass. Gunther, I can't read that, I'm sorry. If you think about how many top bodybuilders there have been, right? 15 Branch Warren. Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't really like this guy. He's very rough, kind of like a shoebox. He's a huge guy, no doubt, with good conditioning. He's a good freak, similar to Nick Wall's style, but I don't like his aesthetics. His hamstring and adductor, his lower body, are just like Nick's. Interesting, right? Let's choose Derek Lansford. He placed a guy with 3 Olympias in the top 16. I would have ranked him higher, no matter who it affects, okay? We know the definition seems soft at times, but Derek's look from the Arnold Classic, not the Olympia, the Arnold Classic, which is the one he's showing now, seems absolutely insane to me. He came in fully defined, just look at his chest and leg from the side, yet they say he's not defined. And he came in with proportions, an X shape, a back. I mean, this back is just exaggerated. Derek's physique at the 2025 Arnold is truly top-notch. 16th in history, huh? Amazing physique. Nick Walker, 17th best. I don't know, maybe, yeah, Nick is a mass monster. He's pure muscle mass definition with some crazy genetics and a pretty ugly structure. That's just how it is. But being an open bodybuilder isn't about looks. No one can take that from him. 18. Andrew Jackett, and in a few years, Andrew Jackett, I think he's going to be higher at the top, the opposite of Nick Walker. Slightly less mass and definition, but an amazing aesthetic and structure, with good height, a bodybuilder reminiscent of old school athletes in the modern era. Tremendous Andrew Jackett, Kevin LeBron in 19th position, the muscle machine. Yes, I think it's a good position. I think he has a super aesthetic physique. I think he's a Mr. Olympia without a crown. He may have had minor muscular flaws and wasn't the biggest or most defined, but I think his physique is among the best ever. Truly impressive. Flex Wheeler, the Sultan of Symmetry, is ranked in the top 20. I think that's debatable since he has one of the most aesthetic physiques in bodybuilding history. More symmetrical and balanced. If asked which bodybuilding physique I prefer, Flex Wheeler's is definitely one of them. He didn't win the Olympia, and maybe he's not the best in mass or definition, but I definitely put him above Samson and Hadi. Let's talk about Roly Winkler, the bodybuilder with the triceps and forearms. I think they're some of the wildest we've seen in bodybuilding. Look at that chicken thigh. This bodybuilder didn't win the Olympia, but he placed well. He was still a massive muscular monster. He had major physical flaws, but his arms were incredible. Brandon Curry, 2019 Mr. Olympia at his peak. Aesthetic physique with impressive mass and structure. I think the physique he brought that year is one of the best, and honestly, I don't know what happened to him in the other years. 23, Chris Cormier. 24, William Bonac. Bonac's genetics aren't great shape-wise, but he's very dense with lots of 3D muscle. 25, Martin Fitzwater. Even though he's past his prime, the look he brought to Prague is one of his best with this physique. He beat Samson, Dauda, and Pearson here. Now let's mention Cedric McMillan, another deceased athlete who, if I'm not mistaken, won the Arnold. A tall bodybuilder with a great structure and aesthetics. What a beautiful physique. It's a shame things ended badly for him. Marcus Rule, top 27. If I'm not mistaken, I should have already uploaded the video about Marcus. Yes, I uploaded it a few days ago, and it's really worth watching. You should check it out. 28. Gustavo Badel. This one is quite unknown. People don't usually talk about him. Very nice physique, underrated, and I'll bring a video about him to the channel later on. 29. Hunter Labrada. I don't know what to tell you. I think Hunter shouldn't even be in the top. Very unaesthetic in my opinion. 30. Soundray maybe. Maybe 31. Paul Dillett in terms of mass, in terms of arms and everything. That's really top level. He skips aesthetics and posing. 32. Akeem Williams, I can't go along with this. Akeem, I think he's a freak. I'm really sorry, not a chance. Akeem out of the top, please. Really no. Look at the back that Brandao brought at 33. Well, hey, at least he's much more aesthetic than Akeem, but in terms of mass, he's quite far from the others. Okay. 34. Berok Tavani. From here on, it's kind of up to you who you want to include. 35. Dennis James. 36. Tony Freeman. Damn. I don't know this one. What arms, huh? 37. Steve Kuklo. What happened to this guy? I haven't heard about him in a long time. 38. I don't know him either. 39. Dallas McCarver. Another one who passed away. He had a lot of promise, a lot of potential, but he left us very young, if I'm not mistaken. 26 years old in position 40. Mikal Kriso. Poor guy, really? Are his arms top 5 arms in history? Easily. I can't believe it. Including Lee Priest? No, that's not right. We had forgotten about Lee Priest. Man, you put Kim Williams, you put Tavani, you put them ahead of Lee Priest. Lee Priest, for me, is easily top. One of the best physiques in history. He looked like a custom-made action figure. Perfectly symmetrical with massive arms, huge legs, and in top physical shape. I'll show you better pictures than these. I'm really upset. Lee Priest deserves top 10 42. Ian Valier, come on. From here on, the video is pure comedy. 43. Vitaly Guzmito, I don't know who this guy is. 45, 46. Vince Taylor, Nazande Asa. 49. Could it be that he doesn't watch the video, gets angry, and attacks you? And finally, Juan More seems like a good top to me, except for a few things like the one with Lee Priest. And like putting Hadi Chopin and Samson Dauda so high, I don't know. Even Kai Green's placement is debatable. Should he be third? Although top 5 maybe. What do you guys think? Who do you think are the top 10 in history? Do you agree with this list? All the videos I mentioned are in the description and pinned comment. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is Aries YT signing off. See you next time.